What's up, everyone? I just got back from a walk and just thinking a little bit about some of the comments and messages that have come through recently to me about how you can bring awareness and being into your life. So, how can you do it? I know I post about it on Instagram, but it's not always possible to go into a lot of detail. So, I wanted to do that here and just touch on it. And then, the amount of messages I've been getting, I really want to get that message through to you guys so that it's clear and you can take action on that. So there's two ways I see it. It's really one movement, but if you break it down, you can look at it in two ways to start with. One is the being side, bringing that awareness, that stillness, mindfulness, meditation into your daily life. And the other is the self inquiry, so inquiring into who you are, your thoughts and emotions, past, present, future, that whole collection of who you are and understanding that. So when you put those two together, then they work almost to complement each other and to bring about order in who you are, order in your being and consciousness. All right, so I want to really make it hopefully quite simple for you all so that you can go away and take some action. At the end of the day, it is really simple, but it's the mental noise of society that we live in, of our past, that really blocks it out and makes it seem complicated, but it's not. So I'll start with the being side. So the being part is just being in that state of conscious awareness. So that's all meditation means, mindfulness. We can get very complicated in the world, but that's all it means, being consciously aware. And we're probably the only creatures in the world that struggle to do that, yet we say that we're the most intelligent. We give ourselves that label, and yet a cat, a dog, a lion, a bird, they're consciously attentive and aware. That's the only movement that they know in their life, and the movement that they flow within nature and their environment. So we've lost that a lot as human beings. So really it's important time to reconnect with that. It's obvious when you look around the world, it's extremely vital that does take place. So bringing that state of being in awareness into your life comes about with whatever you decide to do, really. As I just pointed out, it's just being consciously attentive. So some examples from myself. Drinking a glass of water for 5 minutes can be a huge meditation, especially when I wake up in the morning, to feel the cold water, to drink it, see it move, the reflection of light in the glass. And when you can actually go quite deep into that. It might sound a bit ridiculous, but noticing that stillness outside each mouthful, and then whenever usually you bring stillness into what you're doing, you feel it through your entire being. So you connect with your breath. You can look around the room, see the reflection of light, shapes. You can listen to sounds more clearly and be more alert. Walking's excellent. I find that great to feel that movement, the breeze, look around, breathe, listen, and connect with a state of awareness, to get out of thinking and bring yourself to awareness. Breathing, which has been an ancient tool used for thousands of years, because it's always right there, and it can straight away, if you bring attention to your breathing, it comes away from thought. All right. So the problem is that we've been so conditioned to live in the mind and through thought and through mental activity that we find it difficult just to be and be still. All right. So breathing is a great tool to bring some of your attention into your being. So just 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, hold it there, feel your lungs expand, and then just naturally breathe out. Okay, 3 times, 4 times can bring your attention into your being and let it flow through. Stretching's a great exercise, all right, because you're moving, you're in tune with your body, you're feeling different points of soreness, all right. And that's where yoga obviously is a great tool. Exercise in itself, whether it's running, playing sport, and doing activity in that way, be fully immersed in what you're doing. It might be throwing a frisbee, rugby practice, whatever it is, all great tools and ideas. A plant in the background there. It's pretty clear that stillness is right through nature. So having a plant in your office, in your homes, just looking at a plant can soften the mental noise and bring you into the same stillness that there is in a plant. So going on a walk in nature does the same thing. It's a place just to be, and where mental activity doesn't survive as strongly. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. So there's a few things. Eating, I find, is a good time to be present or mindful eating. With my little boy, as a baby, child, being around children, babies, they come into the world, all they are is consciously attentive, really, until they're slowly, molded into the conditions of society. So their presence usually, if you give time and space for them, can bring you into it. Listening to somebody, if you just sit back and listen to somebody and be the space, it actually can turn into a meditation, without trying to interpret and judge and reply and translate everything they're saying through the center of self that's inside you, and to build that up and to, want to form a strong opinion. That can be as well. And affirmation's an excellent thing. So an affirmation can be used as a pointer to always bring yourself into that state of awareness. So something as simple as, what am I doing right now in this moment? Something that came to me recently was, stop, feel your breathing, look around, listen, be alive. Pointers like that can be excellent. I've recently myself put a photo of my 1-year-old boy on my phone, as he's really my guru in terms of presence, and a pointer to be present, because I see in him, in every second, that presence, whether he's crying, happy, joyful, he's fully attentive and conscious with whatever he does. So yeah, I hope, for me, probably the biggest thing now is just to sit quietly, um, with my eyes open or closed, um, to connect through breathing, and just to be in that place of stillness and go deeper into that place of meditation. And the more being and stillness you bring into your daily living, the more it flows through. So practically, maybe a couple of times in the morning, at night, 5-10 minutes is cool. And then mini meditations in the day to build into that. Like I said, pick out anything I've given there. Walking up the stairs, feeling that movement, washing your hands, just slow right down. You can hear the sounds, feel the cold, the movement, the smells. It's a bath, shower. Shower's another excellent one for me as well. Just to try and, even if I'm aware of thinking in the shower, and then the feeling and movement, and then a blast cold at the end, really shuts off a lot of the senses and the mind. And is a good meditation to be able to watch yourself not wanting to be in the cold, and then the negative thoughts coming, and then to go through it, and then to be okay with it and be still through that. Yeah, I think I've given probably a lot there, so I'm getting a lot of questions. So I'm just trying to fire a lot out. At the end of the day, man, it comes down to you, what works for you, what you connect with. Music's obviously an amazing thing if you play an instrument. But yeah, the sunlight as well. If you just sense the sunlight, and see the sunlight, the reflection on the leaves, the water, it's quite a beautiful thing if you're still and can see that. Traveling's excellent. We love traveling. Probably a big part of that is because it's an unknown and new environment, that in itself can bring a lot of new sensations, which can bring to a state of stillness and presence. So it's a huge amount there. So that's the being side, to really be powerful in that being side. And the other part is to understand the human side. So that's the self-inquiry. And the magical thing is that the more self-inquiry that you partake in, you open up that space of stillness behind it as you become the witness. Okay, so the more of that awareness that you bring, the more self-inquiry is impossible, and the more self-inquiry that you engage in, the more you see from a place of awareness, and see from the background. So put those two together, and you're pretty much, on your way to, becoming that orderly human being that's needed so much in the world today. So self-inquiry is, it's pretty tricky to start with, because you're pretty much always going to look from the lens who you always have been and the person you are. And I know when I started this, through a great teacher online on YouTube, Krishnamurti, it was like kind of looking at a big brick wall, or like, what's this guy talking about? How can I basically be aware that I'm aware, or conscious that I'm conscious? What's he going on about? It's almost a paradox to see something that, when you've been so conditioned to see a certain way, to see behind that, it almost seems impossible. So, but all you need to do is just start off by trying to just watch a thought as it comes, and an emotion, and learn about yourself. The biggest thing you can do is put everything to one side. Put all of your emotions, past history, society, family, value, everything to one side, chuck it over there, and start fresh and anew. Just pretend you're almost like an alien from outer space that's come to learn about yourself or something like that. And then that's the witnessing consciousness that's behind everything that unfolds in the moment. So that's really meditation and being as well. So you see the relationship between self-inquiry and being. So yeah, it might sound complicated, but as you start to sort of witness and just see your deeper desires and fears, and then as the subconscious and unconscious can start to come up and flow, the different energies, your motivations, fears, jealousy, all the stuff that we usually block away, put to the side, or don't want to see, we create the image of the opposite that we're so quick to put out on social media. You really want to go into that, and because as soon as you understand that, then it can become more quiet. So through understanding it naturally quietens. Whereas usually our natural tendency is to want to get something out of it. So we only meditate or inquire into who we are to gain stillness or to gain something, or it should be part of who I am. And straight away, that's the trap. So you'll never be able to force quietness or stillness through a desire. Yeah, it comes without effort through just being the watcher in the background. So bring the two together, let them flow, have patience. You don't need to rush anything. As I said, it's very, very simple, really, just to watch and understand. But we're just so conditioned to look away from what is that, it becomes difficult, even though it's simple. And same with the being, we're consciously alert, attentive being organisms. And again, that's the natural state of who we are, but again, we're just so conditioned and caught in the traps of mechanisms and social values and ideas of thousands of years that it's quite difficult to step out and be into it. So you just need to be patient about it and tackle it with passion, or be more passionate about it than anything else in your life, because at the end of the day, that's the destiny of every human being, is to have that balance between that mental, emotional, physical, spiritual plane or planes, and then to be whole and be orderly. And naturally, if every person's has that order within, there's the order without that's going to arise in their life, and then socially and globally. So yeah, man, I hope I've not lost too many of you, as I know, going back 8 years when I kind of started on my journey into this stuff, it's you know, yeah, it takes a little bit of time to unfold. But when you unfold it, you can kind of look back and think, it was all a bit ridiculous, that you believed you kind of trapped the way you were. But it's just the way it is. So take care out there, and hopefully take those two things away. Build that being, stillness, awareness, to little moments into your life. Change your energy, and then go through that pathway of self-discovery, and jump on YouTube, watch whatever, inquire, look at what is, don't deny, let it be, man. And it's all good. Peace, take care, have a great day. Cheers.